Before starting anything new in life, we all tend to think too much. And it's okay to think, but the problem is, we often think only about one thing. What if I fail? But what if, for once, you asked yourself, what if I win? Let me tell you a short story. There once was a stand-up comedian. He wasn't just good, he was amazing. People loved his performances. His jokes hit perfectly, his timing was flawless, and his audience adored him. Slowly, his popularity began to rise. One day, a journalist from a local newspaper approached him and said, "Sir, we'd love to do an interview with you." The comedian agreed, and the interview began. They talked about his life, his passion, his journey, his dreams, everything. At the end of the conversation, the reporter asked one final question. "Is there any record you'd like to break?" The comedian paused. He had never really thought about it. He smiled awkwardly and said, "No, not really." But the reporter insisted, "Come on, sir, give us something. We need a good headline for tomorrow's paper." So, without thinking much, the comedian casually replied, "Okay, I'll break the record for saying the most words in 1 minute." The reporter's eyes lit up. The next morning, the newspaper headline read, "City's top comedian to attempt a world record, fastest speaker alive." The news spread like wildfire. By afternoon, a major TV channel called him and said, "Sir, we'd like to invite you to our live primetime show tonight. You'll have 1 minute to set the record." Now, the comedian panicked. He thought, what have I just done? He hadn't practiced, he wasn't prepared, he had no plan. Fear started creeping in. By evening, a car from the TV station arrived to pick him up. On his way to the studio, his heart was pounding, his hands were cold, and one thought kept repeating in his mind. What if I fail? As he stood backstage, just seconds away from going live, he asked himself again, what's the worst that could happen? Maybe people would laugh. Maybe he'd embarrass himself. Maybe he'd fail. But then another voice in his mind whispered, what if you win? That single thought changed everything. The camera lights turned on. He stepped onto the stage. The countdown began. 3, 2, 1. And for the next 60 seconds, he spoke. Fast, clear, passionate. When the timer hit 0, the crowd went silent. The host looked stunned. The judges confirmed it. He had spoken over 500 words in 1 minute. A new record was made, live on national television. From that day, his life changed. Not just because of the record, but because of one powerful realization. In life, most people waste their dreams worrying about failure. They ask, what if I lose? But the day you start asking, what if I win? Everything changes, because inside you lies something no one else has. If you want to be a role model, be your own role model. And remember this, whatever you do, do it with heart, do it in the right direction, and have patience. Because miracles don't happen to those who fear losing, they happen to those who dare to win.